The rain was coming down in sheets, drumming against the pavement as Thomas Carter locked up the school for the night. He had been the janitor at Westfield High for nearly 2 decades, sweeping classrooms, repairing squeaky lockers, scrubbing away the careless footprints of students who rarely noticed he existed. But Thomas never minded. He was a man of quiet dignity, raised on hard work and humility. He found purpose in doing the job right, even if no one ever said thank you. As he pulled out of the school parking lot in his weathered old Ford pickup, something caught his eye through the rain-smeared windshield. A black luxury sedan parked on the roadside, hazards blinking. An elderly man stood beside it, struggling with a tire iron, looking exhausted and helpless. Without hesitation, Thomas pulled over. Grabbing his toolkit from the back of his truck, he stepped into the rain. "Need a hand?" he asked, pushing back the hood of his soaked jacket. The man looked up, sighing in relief. "I could sure use one. It's been years since I've changed a tire, and I don't think I've got the strength for it anymore." Thomas knelt by the car and got to work. His hands, rough from years of labor, moved skillfully as the downpour pelted him. The man introduced himself as Mr. Langston, and watched in grateful silence as Thomas secured the spare and stood, wiping his hands on a rag. "You didn't have to stop," Langston said. "I could have called for roadside assistance." "Sure I did," Thomas replied with a grin. "World's tough enough without people looking out for each other." Langston nodded, moved by the stranger's kindness. He reached into his pocket. "At least let me pay you for your trouble." Thomas waved him off. "Not necessary. Just get home safe." And with that, he got back in his truck and drove off, never expecting to see Mr. Langston again. An unexpected surprise. The next morning, Thomas was pouring his first cup of coffee when he heard an unfamiliar engine outside. He stepped onto his porch and froze. There, parked in his cracked driveway, was a gleaming brand-new luxury car. Next to it stood Mr. Langston, smiling like an old friend. "What's all this?" Thomas asked, eyes wide with disbelief. "I did a little digging," Langston said. "Turns out you've spent your life quietly helping others, expecting nothing in return. I own a few car dealerships, and I thought it was time someone did something for you." Thomas blinked, stunned. I can't accept this." Langston chuckled. "You can, and you will. This isn't just for changing my tire. It's for being the kind of man this world desperately needs." For the first time in years, Thomas felt tears sting his eyes. He had spent decades in the background, cleaning, fixing, giving. He never imagined kindness would come full circle like this. A lesson in kindness. Later that day, Thomas pulled into the school parking lot in his new car. Heads turned. Students who once walked past him now stopped to stare. One brave student finally asked, "Mr. Carter, is that your car?" Thomas smiled modestly. "It is, but it's not about the car. It's about what led to it." He gathered a small group and shared the story, not to boast, but to teach. "Kindness," he said, "isn't something you do for attention. You do it because the world needs more of it. And sometimes, when you least expect it, that kindness finds its way back to you." That afternoon, as he mopped the familiar hallways, something felt different. The weight on his shoulders was lighter. For the first time in a long time, he wasn't invisible. Thomas Carter had always believed in doing good quietly, and now the world had whispered back, "We see you, we thank you." Because sometimes the greatest rewards don't come from wealth or recognition, but from simply being a good human being.